inside of Jim Frost Stadium in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's Game 8 of the Southern Conference Softball Championship bracket. University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, the hometown team, has won this tournament 16 times. The 3 seed, the Catamounts, have never won the SoCon tournament. Looking to change their fortune this year. 23 wins overall for Chattanooga, 34 for WCU this season. As we'll flip you quickly aside for a quick look at the Visit Chattanooga SoCon bracket. Make memories here in Chattanooga.
Yeah, and what I see here and what I saw this afternoon is that the number 1 and the number 2 seeds have showed up, and they proved that they were number 1 and that they were number 2 with their big wins earlier today.
And the number 3 seed struggling here. Gabriel Schrei, Todd Agnew here with me, welcoming you inside of the press box at Jim Frost Stadium. Todd, how do the Catamounts get some traction?
Well, they're probably asking the same question. They're the 3 seed. They've lost 5 out of their last 6 games. They have not played well in this tournament yet. Maybe their best is yet to come, but they have picked a poor time not to be playing well.
Well, we're all going to find out together pretty quickly, as we will be right back with first pitch, lineups, and so much more in the Southern Conference Championship in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Scenic City starting lineups presented by VisitChattanooga.com. And on the left side of your screen, the card, the 1 through the 9 hole for the Chattanooga Mocs. 2 of these players, members of the all-SoCon teams named before the tournament. Bailey Pitts and Coward just played fantastic this season.
And Bailey Pitts is having one of the best performances so far in this tournament. And Coach Reed is going to roll the dice, and he is going to make the change at catcher, and he's going to go with Leone behind the plate. That is a big move in this game.
Glad to have you along for the ride, as that's first pitch between the Catamounts and the Mocs. It's the Southern Conference Softball Championship inside of Jim Frost. Gabriel Schrei, Todd Agnew, glad you're along for the ride with us, and man, this is going to be a barn burner.
You know, Gabe, I was just thinking, based on what we announced at the start of the broadcast, and that is Western Carolina's recent slump. For the number 3 seed in this tournament, this feels like a trap game. You're playing what is essentially the home team on their field. They have an understanding of this turf, and really very little to lose.
Roped out to left to Sidney Dirks. On your screen, Amanda Fulton dealing, the right-handed pitcher inside of the circle. Fulton, this is going to be her 23rd start for Western Carolina this season. A huge cut for Seghetti. As a moment ago, the all-freshman team member for the Southern Conference, Ava Cowart, flew out to left.
And she should give them a chance. 7 innings in the opening game here, 10 hits, struck out 4, just one earned run in getting Western that 2-1 win against East Tennessee State.
Seghetti is from Trenton, Michigan, just south of Detroit. Oh-2 is going to be roped foul, banging around near the dugout over there. Staying alive, Seghetti will continue to battle. Her average this season just short of 300, and she was a star in the MHSAA playing for Trenton.
Her batting average has taken a bit of a drop here at the end of the season. She still, though, is a very solid number 2 hitter, especially when, you know, that lineup works when it's Coward and Seghetti getting on. Now, it loses some of its magic with Coward not being on base, because this turns Seghetti into a full-fledged swinger instead of somebody that might sack somebody over, and you can see quickly that they just go down quickly.
Massive cut. Seghetti just could not get a hold of it. Western Carolina very solid across the board. Let's meet that lineup. Dirks in left field. In center field, Mark Swansick on the right side. Around the base path, Stuman, Bell, Light at shortstop, McPherson playing third. Catching is Whately, and Fulton obviously inside of the circle for these Catamounts. Third in the lineup, Bailey Pitts, who was named All-Conference again this season, and she has got some power on that swing, and we haven't seen her work it out yet inside of the tournament.
She's always a threat, right? And that's really one of the first things that I think pitchers have to take note of, is that she can turn a game around in a hurry. You get into a game where you think you have a 3-0 advantage and there's 2 on, and she comes to the plate. That lead all of a sudden is not that safe.
Michelle LaCourse and I talked a lot about how Frank Reed has built a largely local roster, a lot of familiar faces to the local media on this UT Chattanooga roster. And it's nice to see that when these superstar-laden programs that win so much, that are built so heavily, and so many chess pieces and so much thought goes into building the roster, they still make space and utilize local talent. Left field, and this one bloops down right along the line. Bailey Pitts, a double as she slides into scoring position out at second, the former Ringgold Tiger.
It looks like Dirks has a pretty good beat on this one, and then this ball just seems to take a turn on her.
Well, if you look at the flagpole, Todd, the American flag is blowing back towards us. Earlier today, the wind was totally dead. Now we're getting some gusts towards us, kind of off to what would be our right, facing the backside of home plate. There's a look at that flag, and it's kicking up, then it's dying, and it's going to make that ball a little unpredictable on those weird flyouts.
I don't know if she got a really comfortable jump on it and took a very long route to get to it. It wasn't a direct route to the ball, and kind of rounded it off a little bit. The things you try to avoid here in these tournament games, 2-out rallies, and they happen all the time in the first 40 games, and all of a sudden they're magnified games 40 through 45, or however long you manage to stick around.
Inadovi smashed her third homer of the season, the Lancaster, New York native, and it was a grand slam in game 1 of the tournament for Chattanooga's Mocs. Behind in the count early in the top side of this first with 2 away, and Pitts in scoring position at second. Now we'll see the 1-2. Cranked, and what a play! Oh my goodness! Call the local newspaper, call the local TV station, get your mom on the phone. That's an unbelievable catch, another look. Unreal to retire the side for WCU, and the Catamounts scoreless headed to the bottom side of the first.
Remember how summer felt? Pure, unfiltered joy. Days filled with sun-soaked adventures. And the kind of fun you never wanted to end. That feeling, it's waiting for you in Chattanooga. From breathtaking mountain views to secret waterfalls and hidden wonders, adventure here feels like a childhood discovery. Savor the flavors of summer and make new friends. Give yourself permission to be carefree again. This is Chat Summer.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for, train for, run wind sprints when nobody's watching for, the moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time, the moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this, your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Our leadoff hitter on this side just made one of the wildest plays you're going to see in college softball all season. Look at Lily Bell, fading, diving, grabbing for that one. That was the third out of the top of the first. We'll take you to a look at the lineup. Scenic City starting lineups presented by visitchattanooga.com. Catamounts have had a lot of talent on this roster. Western Carolina, Amanda Fulton, obviously, Maya McPherson, Sydney Dirks, Tate Stuman, Lily Bell herself, Becca Wansick, Amari Bursey, Bunsick, and so much more.
Yeah, this is a team that has a very strong 1 through 6 lineup.
Reseeded for a reason. The batting average of this card is crazy. These girls can hit.
Yeah, there is a sinister stretch between hitters 3 through 5, and it even bleeds into 6. Multiple home run hitters at every spot. 2 of those players nearing 60 RBI on the season.
361 runs scored, 72 homers banged out of the park by Western Carolina.
But it all gets started right here with the table setter.
Lily Bell set the table on the top of the first with that catch now. Trying to do so with a roper that is gloved on the line, but she'll return as it goes foul and bounces off.
I tell you, you can get fooled by a lot of stats in softball, but the one that consistently doesn't seem to lie is on base percentage, and Lily Bell has a solid 442 on base percentage. And she has scored the most runs in this lineup this year.
Count is even at 2. Taylor Long back inside of the circle for the Mocs of Chattanooga. She has certainly gotten her work in.
Yeah, her third game, right? She's pitched 2 complete games so far in this tournament and nearly won them both.
Good roping hit right off of the line. Western Carolina. Lily Bell thought she dropped that just in play, and you could see Chattanooga waiting, biding their time as it just goes over the line. Taylor Long getting her 29th start here, Todd.
Yeah, I really do think that the issue for her could be she is a power pitcher. And the more times you have to go to a power pitcher, especially in a short series like this, the flatter their pitches become. And I would encourage Western Carolina to jump on some of that stuff as early as possible, because I think the opportunity could be there, especially here early in this game. There you see Coach Frank Reed. He's hoping that he can get another gem out of his right-hander. And we have not seen strong bullpen play so far in this entire tournament.
No, nobody has been able to go to the bullpen, find success.
I don't think teams have been able to go to the bullpen to stop the bleeding or to secure a win.
Count is full, payoff. Fouled again, stays alive.
This is exactly what you want, a very patient plate appearance by your leadoff batter.
Again, full count. Bell just running up the pitch count, and that's a nice little advantage and a feather in the cap of this offensive lineup card for WCU to start.
Well, it creates a line of communication. It starts a conversation about what's the strike zone, what's the home plate umpire giving and not giving, how's the pitching looking so far.
Right to Taylor Long, one away for the Mocs.
I've always thought in the first inning, you think about who has the advantage when it comes to understanding the strike zone, and it's really nobody, right? It's in this first inning up for this first opportunity for Taylor Long, it's figuring out what exactly can she get away with.
Seghetti, Lockey, Coward from left to right around the infield glass. Gainer right at shortstop. Jones at third, catching Leone, and Long inside of the circle.
Leone taking over for bunt. And some of that decision is all about having the strongest arm behind the plate. It may not be the best defender behind the plate, but it's probably the better of the two bats. You see Leone right there. It is a position that Coach Reed has been forced to go back and forth on all year. And I had an opportunity to reconfirm that of all the losses that they've had from last year's team to this year's team, and we're talking about losing Peja Gold at Ole Miss now, the number one loss was one of the best catchers in this league that departed.
2-1. Carolina stepping back. Taylor Waitley at bat, bolstering a .324 average. Warrenburg, North Carolina native. There was an error with the stats coming through on the defensive lineup. Bailey Pitts is at first tonight for Chattanooga. 3-1. And the count again full. Taylor Long going to be battling it. Taylor Waitley, Taylor Long, deadlocked eye contact. And Long will deliver the payoff from the circle. Waitley gonna be walked, so one makes it to the base path, the second in the lineup for the Cats. Now we'll see Sydney Dirks in her .347.
And that really has been the troubling point this year for Taylor Long, has been the walks. Yeah, look, the number of strikeouts is highly impressive, 179, but the walk numbers are starting to add up. That's her 142nd walk of the year. And that is, that's too big of a margin. Or too close, I should say, too small of a margin. Western Carolina comes into this game. They have got to rebound from just not being very competitive at all against Samford. And Taylor Long, if she can't get that outside pitch, it could be a frustrating evening here. I feel like with her, she locates her fastball first, her hard stuff, and then she works on her movement pitches.
The Moxville, North Carolina native steps back. That is ball two. Count 2-1, one away. A runner at first, as you can see, Waitley. And a train, a steam engine rolling by here down the tracks in Chattanooga, one of the shipping hubs in the United States. Long-time connector for the railways, and it's part of these Chattanooga Mocs' identity. Long chops that foul, count even at 2.
Now, this is a Western Carolina team that comes into this tournament. They had been swept prior to getting into the tournament in their last 3-game series in league play. And they struggled to win their first game here. And as I said, they got hammered in the second game by Sanford and trying to reignite that offense.
Count is full again. This time it's Sydney Dirks. Taylor Vaughn. From the circle, the payoff. Dirks cranks that foul down the left field line. Almost places that off the wall.
Well, third straight batter, full count. You can't predict the future, but you can know the direction, right? And right now it feels like it's the wrong direction.
Again, the full count. Long. Calhoun, Georgia native, will walk her as well. 2 walks in a row. Waitley in scoring position at second. Dirks joins her on the base path over at first.
Now, how many times have you and I seen a game so far in this tournament where a pitcher has had to work hard in the first inning and then settled in, right? And so we're already at that point with Taylor Long. How is she going to survive this inning, and what can she do after this inning? And there are just no easy off-ramps against this lineup until you get to about the 8th and maybe even 9th hitter, and even there it's not bad.
We've seen her get out of jams already in this tournament. She's been down bad, right, so to speak, facing loaded bases, bad situations, found her way out of that, but a tall order early.
And there you see the breakdown. That's really not a terrible breakdown, as she is throwing for strikes right now.
Back-to-back full counts, and the Cats were able to just keep it alive, right? A couple of strikes, couple of swings, and fouled off and forced it to keep going until they were walked. Maya McPherson, the all-conference selection, of 407 average. Maya holds off as ball 1.
They are not going to bite on that pitch, and this is not good news for Taylor Long. She lives on that outside low and away pitch to these right-handed batters.
1 away, 1 in scoring position, 2 on the base path, 2-0. McPherson lets that go as well. Ball 3, she's way ahead in the count.
You know, normally I would say if it's a pitch that you know is coming, if you see it, take a swing. But in this particular case, I wouldn't pull the trigger at all.
Good for strike 1. Long, 3-1 is fouled off. This is the 3rd time in a row she's bought one of these all-star batters in this WCU lineup to a full count. Twice in a row before this, they fouled off a couple times and then been walked. Long from the circle with 1 away, the payoff pitch. McPherson fouls off. I think the worst case scenario for Chattanooga here is the best case scenario for the Cats, is that she is walked and Tate Stuman comes to the plate with that 347 average, and Tate is a really clutch hitter.
Well, this part of the lineup has so much power.
McPherson ropes that foul. There it is, a second time fouled off to stay alive. Will she walk? That would be 3 times in a row. It would load our bases with 1 away for the Mocs of Chattanooga in the top of our first. Long's got to get digging deep here for Chattanooga. Got to pull something out of the back pocket. McPherson watches that go low 3 times in a row. Batters come to the plate, fill the count, battle it, twice foul off, and all 3 times they are walked on that 3rd delivery after the full count. The bases are loaded with Tate Stuman on deck for the Catamounts of Western Carolina. The 3 seed, Todd, is looking hot.
It is, well, and they're not doing anything, right? They're just being patient, and they're battling at the plate. You know, what a pitcher wants you to do is swing at their pitches. What a batter wants to do is swing at their pitches, right? And so they are opposing each other, and right now, without getting that strike low and away, and I feel like a few times Taylor Long has been squeezed here so far. But this umpiring crew has been consistent. And we'll watch to see if Western Carolina struggles with the same thing, that pitch that's on that outside edge. So now do you want to attack the inside edge?
And Todd, maybe some movement in the bullpen for Chattanooga. I'm being told that
Yeah.
Emery Bales, the pitcher out of Knoxville, Tennessee, has made her way down there.
And unfortunately, I really do believe that everything after this, after Taylor Long, is some guesswork. Bales could come in and be fantastic. She certainly does offer a different look, but it's not a guarantee.
That's our Penske move to the bullpen right there. If you need to move, call Penske. Truck rentals for life's big moves. Hall's high product. Bales standing by, warming up inside of the bullpen, but Tate Stuman, a very, very dangerous Purple Cats bat out of Sylvan, North Carolina. She's been very clutch in the tournament.
Chattanooga playing their defense like they want to get the out at home if possible. There's Taylor Long trying to stretch that strike zone. Stuman wouldn't have anything to do with it.
Stuman is one of the premier power bats in the Southern Conference and America. 15 home run shots this year. The Catamount fouls off, and our count remains 1-2.
Got to remember, these runners are going to hold a little bit if it's contact on the ball. They don't want to run themselves out of what could be a big inning here.
Foul off the backstop.
And that gives your defense a little bit of advantage, especially the third and the first baseman.
In our last game, we saw Muncie get to the bottom of the 5th inning with 39 pitches. Muncie,
Yeah, quite a difference, right?
the star for ETSU. Muncie, a no-hitter yesterday. Very, very good performance today. Finishes her 4th complete game in 10 days. But just pointing out the amount of work Taylor Long is doing in the top of the 1st. This is a lot of work for her for keeping her out there. If anything, that's great for Western Carolina. Tire her out. But obviously the Mocs have got Bales working in the bullpen, so.
Taylor Long is very hard to tire out. And she doesn't have a lot of, softball pitchers don't have the same type of stress on their arms as baseball players do. But it does, as you pointed out, it takes a lot of steam out of you to have to just constantly battle in a game like this and throw hard.
And Long punches her out with a K. 2 away on this side for Chattanooga's Mocs as she draws the dangerous bat of Stuman into an errant swing.
And now you can back that defense up. Guard the lines at 3rd and 1st.
Wansik with her .339 this season. Holds off on the first delivery, and that cuts through outside of the zone. Wansik.
There it is. That's just moved it in slightly. And when you think about the diameter of a softball, I mean, there's not that much of a difference between a ball and a strike and also what becomes now a hittable ball.
Wansik holds off. Ball 2. One strike for her already, the Jefferson, North Carolina native. Long with 2 away and bases loaded, 2-1. Fouls off, she'll stay alive.
Yeah, the difference between success as a pitcher and failure is about half the width of a ball. And that's where Taylor Long is trying to live right now. Low and away.
Count even at 2, Long. And she goes down swinging. Somehow Taylor Long gets Chattanooga out of the jam to retire the top side of the first. We are scoreless in Chattanooga with an unbelievable effort inside of the circle by Taylor Long, returning with their first at bat in just a moment in the Southern Conference Softball Championship from Jim Frost Stadium in Chattanooga. Side of the second, scoreless, and the fans, it's golden hour. They might be having more fun than we are, though I think that would be hard. Floater, she's in trouble. To retire the first to the side, collected easily by WCU. We were having so much fun before the game, we had to declare the press box a no-fun zone.
Yeah, there for a moment I felt like I was working the daycare center back at church.
Gainer at bat for Chattanooga's Mocs, strike 1.
But nobody said it had to be hard. All right.
0-1. Gainer behind in the count, and the crowd doesn't like that. 271 this season for the righty.
Well, now you don't want to get beat outside. That's the hardest count, I think.
One, two. Gainer goes down swinging 2 away quickly for the Catamounts of Western Carolina.
And guess what? She got beat to the outside, right? Late on the swing here. Fooled by the speed on that pitch. It still looked like she was out in front early or late. All right. I feel like the zone right now is going to be really tough to get a strike low and away. It appears to be, though, you can go upstairs and get a strike. So anybody that can throw a rise, maybe. I mean, those look like pretty good pitches.
I just like the way you said that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, all right, I got it.
All right, I figured it out.
Yeah. You'd like me to shut up. I get it.
No.
Yeah. Well, I got to believe that some of the batters are thinking the same thing. Okay. Just as long as it's consistent. I'm not saying it's a bad strike zone. I'm just saying it needs to be consistent, and so far I think it has been.
She's way ahead in the count against Amanda Fulton. 3-0. There you have it, bottom corner.
And look, it's always a little bit of a disadvantage because you're really not sure what you can swing at yet right now. And so these pitchers hold on to this advantage. They are developing some knowledge about where the strike zone is until you get up to the bat the second time in a game.
Chloe Lackey is walked over to first. Chattanooga with 2 away will advance the batting order to Raven Jones, who plays third. 259 this season for the Mocs. Jones is a native of Chattanooga, Tennessee, a standout at Baylor School, 3 state championships.
Good count here to swing for gap power. Look for something to drive.
Count evened at 1. With 2 away, 1-1. Jones maybe in trouble. Diving down the right field line as that trickles foul. Zoe Wright, bottom of this batting order, follows Raven Jones. She's on deck. Quick play, trying to get to scoring position out at second and slides safely onto the bag. What a play. Hustling is Chloe Lackey.
See how this tag is applied. Had to come back with a little bit of a sweep. I mean, ideally, the glove just drops, and it wasn't. When the ball has to be retrieved above your head and then brought back down in a sweeping motion, it's going to be tough to get the call without a review.
2 away. Scoring position for Chloe Lackey. Jones, the count even, 2-2 as Fulton delivers. She's in trouble, and that retires the side. Just able to glove it. Hauling that in with a nice little play. Caden Lyda gonna send us through to the next half inning. Golden rays filtering through the treetops in Chattanooga. feel like we're broadcasting the Masters. Look at that. That's beautiful.
Killing us slowly.
Golden hour. And Chattanooga, welcome back.
Well, I felt like the last inning was just really a microcosm of what has plagued Taylor Long and Western Carolina. Long through the walks, right, or offered the walks. Western Carolina just couldn't make anything out of it, leaving the bases loaded, and that's where their offense has been. It has been stuck, it feels like, in neutral.
Yeah, Western Carolina, man, they were just brimming, ready to go.
I mean, if you're thinking about momentum, right, you think, oh, we're gonna get multiple runs here, and then you come out of there and the winds are a little bit out of your sail, and if you're Chattanooga, you're all fired up because you survived an inning.
Taylor Long just looked incredible.
Yeah, she did at the end, right? It'll be interesting, I think, in this inning. First three she faces here, the bottom third of this order, are all left-handed batters. I don't know if she's going to try to run this in and low, and it feels like that's how she has started off. So attacking away to the righties and in on the lefties. I would say in this lineup, it's probably a fairly good idea to try to keep the ball low, reduce the opportunity to hit home runs.
So the count is again full for Taylor Long and the Catamounts. This time it's Martin who's at bat for Western Carolina, the DP. Is that Nick Saban? Payoff pitch. Martin fouls off to stay alive.
What some people forget too with Taylor Long is, you know, you can say, okay, she's throwing 58 miles an hour, but when you take the time to figure the distance, she's really clocking in the upper 80s, low 90s.
Full count, roped foul. Great contact, just couldn't spray that in the field of play.
I mean, that's not the speed of the pitch, obviously, but when you reduce the distance from the circle to home plate in softball, that's about the equivalent. And one way to deal with that speed is to try to pick up the ball as quickly as possible. People with good pitch recognition can, in their mind at least, slow a pitch down. They can take a pitch that's coming in at 58 and they can make it 53 because they know what it is.
Tatum Martin still dealing with his full count from Taylor Long, who delivers from the circle. And they're going to send her down the line to first. Mixed reactions from Jim Frost Stadium.
Another 3-2 pitch.
Another look at it. Caden Lyda next at bat for Western Carolina. What say you, Todd Agney?
I think that pitch is in, and it doesn't get any easier down here. This is probably the best bottom three after UNCG in this tournament right now, or had been.
Caden Lyda, .230 this season, but the Fletcher, North Carolina native, a freshman, sneaky effective. 21 RBIs on the year. Another lefty, you mentioned that, 3 lefties in a row. She's the second of 3. On deck is Courtney Marks. Count even at 1.
When you pitch to these left-handed batters in the stadium, you have to hope that you have a quick and reactive and courageous third baseman and a pretty strong right fielder. I mean, typically you would put somebody in the outfield and right field that you had less confidence in to play defense. There's less balls hit out there, but in this case, all of that may come back to hurt you.
Lyda picks up the K. back to the dugout. That's the first of the side for Taylor Long and her Chattanooga Mocs. Now Courtney Marks, another lefty, 266 average this season. That's already 3 strikeouts for Long from the circle. And her pitch count is rising like crazy. She's almost to 60 pitches.
She is an amazing enigma, right? She just can't figure it out. I can't figure it out sometimes. I think a lot of people, I think her coach obviously would like more consistency, but this is what you have. Would like to see what Western Carolina's stomach for stealing bases is with Leone in there. She has recorded the most throwouts this year for Chattanooga behind the plate, by far.
Fouled off. That's an interesting question. A lot of great base thieves like Lily Bell on this roster. She succeeds 82% of the time, 26 steals on the year. 100% of the time, Whately has succeeded with 8 steals. Same for Maya McPherson. 8 attempts, 8 steals.
It'll be interesting to revisit those numbers if Western Carolina can get into first and third strategy. And good look at Taylor Long. I think I've seen Chattanooga play 8 games this year in 8 different uniforms. I don't know how they do it.
Union game is strong, I won't lie. The bunt controlled and sent to first in time to retire a second on this side for the Chattanooga Mocs. Speaking of which, hats off to the Cats as well. Look at the all-purple, baby.
Yeah.
Woo. Need one of those for the office.
Well, you know, I always feel like if you're going to commit, go all the way. Right?
Yeah.
Make it one color.
Love to see the celebration on the bunt. Puts her teammate into scoring position, and Marks runs the length of the dugout. High fives all her teammates. They celebrate with her on a job well done. That's strike 1, 2 away, and scoring position out at second for WCU's Cats.
Now, I know Michelle LaCourse, who has been part of our broadcast crew, calls that a team first type of play.
Exactly right.
Surrender yourself to move the runner.
And I like that mentality. I like that thought process. I like the label for it too from Michelle, right? Team first play.
Yeah.
Because that's how you win in the game of softball. I kept going back to coach speak yesterday. I like to go to that well of consistent routine. If you make it look easy, you win championships. It starts there, but softball's a game of momentum. So if you throw in a little dash of momentum, a little team play, you're going to be doing real well, and hopefully she's all right. That thing roped off right.
Sorry about that. That was a...
into Whately.
Yeah, I couldn't hold that one back.
Thought the same thing, though. That looked like it hurt. Yeah. And good news, she looks like she'll shake it off. We're going to watch it again.
Maybe, right?
Ouch.
Well,
kidney.
And I would say this with the second out on that sacrifice bunt, I got to believe that part of the thinking is maybe we get a bunt single, right? I don't know if I'm bunting to move somebody over this early in the game and trying to chase a run early.
Two away, runner in scoring position. Long facing down Lily Bell with that 379 average. 1-2. Bell puts it in play. She's in trouble and over to first in time. Chattanooga Mocs flip the side and retire it. We'll be back as the Cats go back to bat in a scoreless game in the Southern Conference Softball Championship. Scoreless in Chattanooga, Tennessee in the Southern Conference Softball Championship. Sun is cresting over the trees as the Mocs are back at bat against these Cats.
I don't normally check to see who's playing catcher this early in the game, but Waitley was the player that took the foul ball in the on-deck circle, and it looks like she is in the game.
Thankfully good to go. She took a little shot to the kidney, but she's tough. I feel like you have to be super tough to be a catcher.
You do.
That's a lot of
You
durability.
do. Yeah. Now, there are catchers that have come into this tournament that have played so well this year, but it's been a physically demanding year for them. Lenson being one of them at Mercer.
Zoe Wright, a .322 clip this season. Her first at bat of this one against the Catamounts. Drop that through and the count rises. Goes from even at 1 to 2-1. Pitch count is growing pretty rapidly for Amanda Fulton as well.
It is, yeah. I think they're both trying to figure it out.
The shot, the tag. Good play by Tate Stuman to retire the first of the side for her Catamounts.
Now here we go. We talked about how long does a pitcher have the advantage, and sometimes it can extend into, the second time you start to face the lineup. And so Coward is left-handed batter thinking, all right, I think that probably low and away is something I'm going to lay off of like that. I'm going to make you, as I said earlier, I'm going to make you come in and throw me something that I want to hit.
Good slapper, and it's going to roll on through. Moving is one of the all SoCon freshman team members. Coward over to first for the Mocs. Another look at the slap. Just a greasy hit. Rolls right through there. Again, bang. No getting on that. Short center. Well done by Coward, and she could use some support from Seghetti.
We're also to the point in both these lineups now where the best plate performances are going to come from players who step in there with a plan. And they don't leave it up to the umpire anymore, right? If you're a little unsure, then you got to have a plan, and you got to go in there and you have to execute it.
Well, we kind of rolled through the information gathering phase, right? We've been through our first trip around the lineup card. Things are going to start to develop and unfold in the top side of this third, and you're seeing that for Chattanooga. They've kind of felt out what's fielded for the Catamounts and Amanda Fulton, and they're ready to try out what they've learned. Scoreless with one away, and the runner over at first. Cowart reached a moment ago as a diesel train thunders by in Chattanooga, the 3-0. Strike one. Bouncer controlled and sent to first, and that won't be in time. Two Chattanooga Mocs making nest on the base path, one in scoring position, and Cowart.
It's really one of the first times in this tournament that Chattanooga's been able to execute the hot bounce. Pounded into the ground, and everybody has said that I've talked to that is the area, if you think about who has advantages and what, one of the things that Chattanooga has figured out how to do, especially with these top two in the order, is how to pound the ball off the turf and beat out the high hop.
One away as we roll to one of the most dangerous bats that's in town this weekend. Bailey Pitts, .372 average, 7 home run shots, .463 on base percentage. 0-1 is crushed. Somebody call the railway and tell them to stop the train. That thing is coming through. The Chattanooga Mocs crank a home run ball. Bailey Pitts absolutely smashes home run number 8. The Birds leading 3-0 over Western Carolina.
That certainly was an electrifying hit. Even the sound of it was automatic. The left fielder, Dirks, look at this. You know when you know, right?
Love the celly. Little accidental renaissance coming home over the plate. And the Chattanooga Mocs lead 3-0 over the Catamounts of Western Carolina. The 5 seed out ahead, a true home field advantage in the Southern Conference Softball Championship. Now, no need to panic. We just watched a team storm from behind down 3-0 all the way through to the very final moments. Wofford exploded for 5 runs in the 5th inning and came from behind to take down ETSU and the Buccaneers. Western Carolina, though, starting this one on the ropes in our 3rd inning.
I feel like that's all I've watched this week has been comebacks of some sort. For Western Carolina, this is so frustrating. You had the bases loaded in the 1st inning and couldn't scratch. And the next 2 batters, I think in my mind, actually could do the same kind of harm.
2-1 evens the count at 2 for Anna Dovey with her 302. And I believe I mentioned this in her first trip to the plate, but she did hit that grand slam. And that is going to retire her. 2 away for Amanda Fulton and WCU. Leone next in the order. What luck we've had. Man, we got rained out on our first day of this tournament. And it's just been beautiful, sunshiny skies at Jim Frost Stadium for the Southern Conference Softball Championship. And another beautiful event. They do such a good job putting on these championship tournaments around the country and throughout the Southeast. And beautiful week so far.
Boy, and speaking of great work, that last look that we had from our crew of that strike that Dovey took, can you blame her?
No.
Right. I mean, I know on that count you don't want to get beat outside, but there's really been no evidence so far today that that's going to be a strike. And I'll say this, from our perspective, where it crossed the plate could have been a strike.
Rolled foul. Amanda Fulton was an all-conference selection inside of the circle for the Southern Conference this season. First teamer. You can see why. She does great work. Fulton ahead in the count with 2 away from the circle. She'll now deliver the 1-2.
You know, we have also not addressed the fact that this is an elimination game, right? The idea that I got one more chance to stick around.
We kind of touched on it a little off the top, but it was really a major part of what made the last game so exciting. This has been more about, can Western Carolina get back on track? This is our 3 seed who has been so good. I would say those bats are certainly due to light up as she stays alive with that one on a full count pitch. And obviously we'll be seeing those bats soon as it's the top of the 3rd with 2 away.
Yeah, it's too soon to call them toothless, but again, going back to what they've done down the stretch, they have to wonder, it's been like a switch has been turned off offensively for them.
Leone flies out to left field. Western Carolina, I don't think they're toothless. I think they got some claws, but a look back at Bailey Pitts, who we know has claws. That thing is crushed and lands in historic Angel Stadium on the other side of town. Back with more college softball in a moment. Mocs up 3-0 on ESPN.
From the river to research labs, from class to community, from first year to first job fast. At UTC, you don't just earn a degree. You find your footing, you find your people, you move the world with you. Our professors don't just teach, they mentor, challenge, and help you find your edge. This is the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, where learning moves you.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall, peacemakers, risk-takers, for the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists, for long-distance love, for the far-sighted, nearsighted, for introverts and extroverts, for the thinkers and the doers, for old friends. Coca-Cola, for everyone.
Whately will lead off on this side of our third inning. Taylor Whately has been a very important bat this season all year long. Warrenburg, North Carolina native, a veteran, played in 41 games last season. Right away suffers the strike from Taylor Long, who is heating up, and she's already got 3 strikeouts.
You throw a pitch like that, you can start to throw some stuff inside and try to jam the hitter. I don't know if anybody's going to be fooled, though, with one pitch.
Whately, strike 2.
That ball's moving. There's a little pop in the glove. But I'm like you. We talked during the break. I just feel like this Western Carolina offense is going to wake up at some point.
They got claws. Cats see ball 1. Whately, she's one of the most dangerous bats in this lineup. I mean, that's a crazy thing to say when everybody's hitting 300, but I do feel like you don't want to let her out of here without something. She's going to go for the slapper.
Well, look, and their reputation has earned them these walks in this game. I mean, it's not that Taylor Long isn't necessarily able to hit that outside strike. It's that you almost have to throw that against this team because they have shown evidence of being able to pound stuff. And you get into this league tournament and look, everybody sees the numbers, everybody's watched the tape, and they know, look, let's just try to see if we can throw low and away and make a living out there. And if you can't, then you have to give a lot of credit to Western Carolina for establishing that reputation.
Whately and WCU. Count even at 2 as Taylor Long will roll it from the circle.
Now, Taylor Long is feeling a lot less stress in this inning than she was probably in the first 2 innings. Right? These close games, they put so much mental stress on the pitchers, right? And what I always fear for pitchers in games like this is if coaches start to overthink the pitching and then you change the rhythm of the game for the pitcher and they have a hard time staying and getting back into a good rhythm of pitching. There's the jam shot.
Long got her. One away for the Chattanooga Mocs. Western Carolina's got to stay calm. This is an elimination game. We just brought that back up a moment ago. Fuel yourself. Feel the pressure a little bit. Make a good play and then ride it. Get something to ride on. Get Courtney Marks running down the front of the dugout again. You got to find something to ride on here as that goes for ball 1. And now we're going to see Sydney Dirks take her cuts. 347 on the season. 15 home run balls.
I'm going to watch Taylor Long here. I think now sequencing is going to matter a little bit more than raw power, right? There's going to be a flow chart here, 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 here. I'm just going to keep moving the ball now and maybe using some off-speed stuff and try to create an advantageous sequence for myself.
1-1 as she holds off, and that drops underneath the zone for Taylor Long and the Mocs.
And that's what I love so much about this game. There's a guy that understands the flow chart of softball. It's a little bit different than baseball, but typically A and then B and C follows and D, and you know what you're doing, right? And it's such a beautiful game because of that.
I will tell you, that was about 3 degrees shy of being a home run ball.
Yeah. Well, it's because I think she's out in front. I think Taylor Long is maybe throwing some off-speed stuff now to complement her fastball.
2-2. Chopped foul. Keeping the count even, steady, rolling. Dirks trying to kill that ball. Let's look at Mr. Jim Clift, who has had a very nice career coaching after retiring 26 years as a police officer and a member of the SWAT force in San Diego, California. Made his way to Western Carolina, took over in 2012, the winningest head coach in program history, well over 250 victories in his 15 years. He has led them to their best finishes in program history, a Southern Conference runner-up finish, SoCon Coach of the Year, and he's just got a ton of experience, and he's been a great, great name and figurehead for this roster.
He seems like he's going to be the kind of coach that's going to have to answer a lot of mail from kids that graduate, right, and return voicemails and texts. I think he is in this for almost all the right reasons. I should say all the right reasons, because I don't know if he's in it for any of the wrong reasons at all.
Payoff. Dirks gone. Bailey Pitts. Routine looking easy. Wow.
A little show off there. Nothing wrong with that. The celebration.
She's a menace.
Yeah. Fielding at any position on this turf is all about the rhythm, right? We talked about rhythm of pitching. There's the same thing that exists for the infielders, and you can see it when it happens, right? It all looks smooth. It's connected.
Maya McPherson from Lancaster in California.
And these balls on this field, there's a lot of backspin. On this infield, the backspin is tricky, and then it hits the outfield. You talk to an outfielder that's played on this turf, and they'll tell you the ball scoots in a hurry, right?
Count even up at 1 quickly for McPherson. She was a standout at Quartz Hill High, where she hit .651 in her career, 13 homers, 41 RBIs as a senior.
What did we say back in the first inning? We've seen pitchers struggle and then settle in. So Taylor Long faced 6 in the first, 4 in the second. Don't know what's going to happen yet here, but it could be 3.
2-1. McPherson staying ahead in that count. 2 away. The Californian all alone on the field, nobody on the base path ahead of her. Long. 3-1. McPherson gonna suffer strike 2 as our count is once again full. Man, Long has just continued to fill the count, and she is almost to 90 pitches in the bottom of our 3rd inning.
I hope she knows you don't get an award for the most pitches in a game.
She might. I don't know. We might have to make something up. And she'll go down swinging. McPherson strikes out. Taylor Long getting it done in Chattanooga, Tennessee. 3-0 Mocs in the lead. They'll try to extend it and cushion it as we roll into the 4th inning in the Southern Conference Softball Championship. Atlantic City made possible thanks in part to support from Coca-Cola, made in Chattanooga by Chattanoogans since 1899. And visit Chattanooga, make memories in Chattanooga. Visit Chattanooga.com. Can't wait to see you here. Todd will take you on the whiskey tour. I'll take you for a ride on the Southern Belle.
Might want to reverse the order of that.
You told me that was your favorite.
Well, I did, but I don't know if I want to. You want to take people on the boat after I've had them at the whiskey tour.
Oh, right. Yeah, no,
yeah,
good call. That's true. I don't have any life vests, so.
Just based on this exchange, I'm somewhere older than 55 and you're somewhere younger than 45.
You can put that in the stats as this is fouled off for strike one.
Well, UTC is getting underneath these pitches, right? 5 fly balls so far. 2 extra base hits.
Amanda Fulton 2-1. Jade Gaynor lets that go on by to even the count at 2. 0 for 1 in this game, the Ringgold Tiger. All-conference pitcher will fill our count.
I said at the start of the tournament, I was looking at every team and a player that would really or could make the biggest difference. That's a beautiful pitch, by the way. You throw it like that and you'll make the difference. It's Gaynor who just went down looking, and that's her second strikeout because Chattanooga was unsettled at second base through much of the season. Gaynor has come on as of late.
4th strikeout of the game for Amanda Fulton. First teamer all SoCon. She was the freshman of the year last season. The very best the Southern Conference has to offer. Could be in trouble as this will sail just beyond the fence and bounce on out of here.
I'm looking ahead to the bottom of the inning, and again, what stands out to me is Western still has a very healthy offense coming to the plate.
Fulton sends that through for a second ball. She had a great prep career at River Ridge High School in Georgia. 150 ERA, 539 career strikeouts, pitcher of the year in the region. Smash that, but it goes foul for the Birds.
I feel like this is a very pivotal inning for both teams. Chattanooga puts a few more on the board, and it feels like they're in complete control. Cats take care of business here defensively, get those bats rolling. And this is, all of a sudden, Fulton just making it look easy.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Amanda Fulton. Her 5th strikeout of the game for the Catamounts. Just drew her to swinging on that. And Raven Jones will replace her at the plate. Her .257 season average, 0 for 1 in this game. Jones right on cue, just past second base. Bloops, short center. She's at first and followed by Zoe Wright in the order. Right at 320 this season. We'll look to see what she can do with 2 away. And that's been a weak spot for the Southern Conference teams in the tournament so far. Nobody has really been able to produce very well with 2 away.
Yeah. Timely hitting, I think, has been absent in a lot of cases. It certainly has for Western Carolina, and they're not the only ones. East Tennessee State has had some issues with timely hitting, or had, I should say. They are unfortunately out of the tournament now. Wofford, I felt like, has just gotten enough, but could use some timely hitting.
Crushed and in trouble in left field as that one is controlled and retires the side. Sydney Dirks doing some work for the Catamounts quickly through the top half of 4. 3-0 Chattanooga leads. We're headed to the bottom side. with me and Abby Walker are helping me pick an early player of the game. Mr. Drake Barlow will be our player of the game today on ESPN. Good family friend of Tate Stuman. She calls him her little brother. He just recently received a heart transplant and having fun during the pregame, got the mask and everything, and look at that pitch. Great form, great delivery. Player of the game for us. Look at him, he's ready to go. Waiting for that signal from coach. What's the call? Delivered through bottom of the fourth, ball one. Hey, that's my man. Drake Barlow hanging out with Stuman's shirt on too, rocking 24. Count 2-0. Big congratulations to the Barlow family, and obviously wishing Drake the very best. It's powerful stuff. 2-0.
Yeah, and he's wearing the jersey number, as you said, of Stuman, a player that, look, I love number 5 hitters because they could just as easily be the number 4 person. It's tough to be 2-1, but
Stuman was due up, obviously. She's at bat.
Not tough. This is a spot where you can swing for a little bit of power yet.
Taylor Long closing in on 100 pitches. And Stuman ahead in the count. Now, we saw her foul off what would have been a home run ball 3 degrees into play. 3-1. She tries to send that one off of the top of the aquarium.
Love the swing. Not sure that pitch was in the strike zone, but what you want out of a batter like this is commitment. Right? Coaches don't mind the blowout swing as long as you're committed to it.
Payoff pitch fouled off. Stuman stays alive.
And sometimes you get to the dugout and what were you swinging at? Well, when it left, when it was halfway to the plate, it was belt high. By the time it got to me, it was up in my eyes, and it's. But I might just try to drive something here. When players sometimes just think about hitting back through the middle, a little bit more success can come.
Rolled through. Stuman's in trouble and cut down. The first out of the side for Chattanooga. She got good contact on it. She drags the pitch count out. She keeps creating opportunities for herself. You are running out of space, though. The wall getting closer to your back the longer we go on.
That's why I said I thought the 4th inning was pivotal for both these teams.
Becca Wansick 0 for 1, 336 season clip. Now with one away, Long will deliver the first for her.
When you get in games like this, and the longer it stays like this, there's just all of a sudden there's a ton of pressure on you as a pitcher. Your team's trailing. And sometimes you have a tendency to get rushed and maybe play out of your game. That all being said, 2 runners on, and this is a whole different thing, right? That's all you got to do here, especially with this team. I don't think we've had a game so far in the 2 days of this go to extra innings.
Crunched and perfectly blooped to the right side. Dropped right between those two. Over the top of Bailey Pitts. Just short of our right fielder. And she's on board. Good swing of the bat by Wansick. I thought for a moment that might sail out to Cowart, but it just was perfectly dropped between them.
By the way, that is the first hit, right, of the game against Taylor Long.
That's actually a wild stat.
Yeah.
And you're 100% right. That is the first in 10. They're now batting 100 on the nose. Chattanooga batting 294, 5 of 17 as a club.
Now, finally, you know, when you're the third base coach, you're just looking for something to work with. Give me some situational play.
fired that on through to even up the count at 1 with 1 away. Tatum Martin trying to help out Wansik over at first.
Might usually use this part of the order to move somebody over, but with 1 out, it feels like that's kind of a risk to give up the out.
Two one. Rolled through, collected, flipped in time to second. No one reaches scoring position, but she's safe at first. 2 away for the Chattanooga Mocs. Great play.
Oh my gosh.
That was a really, really nice play.
Yeah.
Gathered quickly by Gaynor and flipped to second.
And now you see why I thought that she, if anybody could be the key to some wins here, it would be her. Had my doubts about her mid-season defensively, but she is really locked in lately, and she just now has the 4 errors, and she's starting to pile up some innings where that's becoming an impressive number.
Lida struck out in her first appearance, 1 of 5 strikeouts delivered by Taylor Long. North of 100 pitches now.
And that's also a difficult spot to shuttle the ball to the shortstop, because you got to be careful with the speed of it at that point. It happens so fast, you don't get a lot of time to communicate how you're going to deliver it. Well executed defensive play.
1-1.
I don't know about you, but some of the stuff that Wofford did in the outfield, some of the catches they've made, it's just some of the infield plays that we've seen in this tournament by almost everybody. Everybody's turned in just some electrifying defense.
2-1, fouled off to even our count at 2. Yeah, definitely today. Last night we saw Wofford make some crazy plays. We saw Western Carolina make some insane diving grabs last night. So far though, Chattanooga very good situational hitting. They've been good at placing the ball, right? They've been putting it into the gaps and just kind of dropping it in right where it needs to be. Obviously, they're only scoring produced off of that homer shot delivered by Bailey Pitts as our count remains even at 2 with 2 away. But even if you were to wipe that away, Chattanooga would be doing very well mathematically at bat. Western Carolina has struggled to produce. You got to find a way to get something going. As she'll go down swinging. I think it could come later in the game. Todd will see whether or not this 4th inning was as pivotal as we were thinking it potentially could be. When we return, another look at the strikeout as it's 3-0 Chattanooga Mocs in the Southern Conference Softball Championship.
Remember how summer felt? Pure, unfiltered joy. Days filled with sun-soaked adventures. And the kind of fun you never wanted to end. That feeling, it's waiting for you in Chattanooga. From breathtaking mountain views to secret waterfalls and hidden wonders, adventure here feels like a childhood discovery. Savor the flavors of summer and make new friends. Give yourself permission to be carefree again. This is Chat Summer.
For over 60 years, Holston Gases has been your trusted local partner, fueling industries, powering businesses, and serving communities with safe, reliable gas solutions. From propane and welding supplies to dry ice and medical gases, we deliver the products you need with the top-tier customer service you deserve. Family-owned and locally managed since 1958, Holston Gases is your hometown gas partner. Holston Gases, trusted, reliable, local.
It's the top of the 5th inning as the sun fading away behind Lookout Mountain, the iconic landmark in Chattanooga. Southern Conference Softball Championship underway, Game 8 of the bracket. An elimination game between the Catamounts and Chattanooga Mocs. Chattanooga, Bailey Pitts hammered a homer for all 3 runs they've scored in this one. The Catamounts, look out, short center, diving for the grab. WCU, the first to the side, off the rip. That's exactly what they needed. Sliding in to make the play in center field, an unreal grab by Courtney Marks.
And yeah, and what you saw really was what was happening. This is excellent defensive linemen. Lyda and Bell both coming all the way down, and Marks coming in from center field. They haven't pulled her in, and they're going to do the same thing with the outfield here against Seghetti, then that's a base hit. And Coward has already had a base hit and scored a run. So the top of this order has done what they're supposed to do, which is set the table and let Pitts clean it up. Oh, hit the ball and then hit herself. Yeah.
And she runs into the ball. She'll go back to the dugout. That's 2 away.
I want to see her feet here. She gets started. Yeah, hits her out of the box.
2 away. How about that? That's a nice start for Western Carolina. We come in, and during the break, I'm like, Todd, they got to get something going here. If they can't do something in this 5th, I think the 4th really sealed it up. They can't allow Chattanooga to pad their lead at all, that's for sure. What a start.
The common mistake is to assume that rallies start with the offense, and that's not always true, right? Sometimes you have a good defensive inning and you come back in and you turn that momentum into your offense, or you turn it over to your offense.
Bailey Pitts smashed this 3-run shot over the left field wall earlier. They had to get the railway system on the phone and stop the train. That thing would have knocked it right off the rails. Pitts is 2 for 2 in this game. That was her 8th home run of the season. From just over the border of Tennessee and Georgia down in Ringgold, former Tiger. Bailey Pitts, bang, down to the right field wall. It pinballs off, looking for the double as she slides into second. She's in time to be safe. 3 for 3.
She almost overslides that. How about that? Not only 3 for 3, but all extra baggers.
Cooking with gas on her home Jim Frost Field.
I think he's going to make a change here and bring in a different runner maybe. I'm not sure yet. Or is he going to bring in a different batter? Oh, watch here, holding on to the bag. That looks like the Titanic, right? I'm going to hold on to this life raft as long as I can. She almost overslides the bag, and they have made the change out at second base. Is this Carlisle?
Izzy Carlisle pinch running for Chattanooga. She's from Dallas, Georgia. Great season this year. Dean's List student. Honor roll recognition from the athletic directors. Prepped at South Paulding High.
When Coach Reed saw her last night, as I've said this a few times, this is no surprise to her. He told her, look, you're going to be running in the game, and you need to be situationally aware. 2 outs.
This will retire the side as they complete the play. Western Carolina, well positioned to strike back in the bottom side of 5. 3-0 Chattanooga Mocs lead at Jim Frost Stadium. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts for Taylor Long, who is looking great inside of the circle. That early jam she got the mocks out of has been the difference maker in this game.
Yeah, once she figured out that it was going to be more about, as I said earlier, just finding a different pattern, she became successful. And she has had, she's had a strikeout in every inning. She's had 2 multiple strikeout innings. Let's see if she continues to move that ball around.
Now her pitch count already beyond 100.
Yeah.
Her tournament, she has been the arm for the mocks. Think about the wear and tear on the shoulder, the elbow, all the different parts of your body, right, that you have to move and undulate.
Yeah, that's, I had a long talk today with some other coaches and just talking about how for softball pitchers, it's so much more different than it is for major league pitchers, the stress and the torque that you put on it. And that's why I said earlier, what happens typically is you just get tired and your pitches don't have the same pop. And now they're what they call flat, right? And you can hit those flat pitches. And so more worry about that than there is injury here.
Two balls.
Even the spinners, you know, there's not a lot because you're not turning the elbow. You're just snapping it with your hands to get it going. You're not changing how you throw the ball. You're just changing what your wrist will do with it.
Count even up at 2. Sydney Bumgarner. 2-2. Sydney fouls off, keeps that count even at 2. She's originally from Granite Falls in North Carolina. Freshman out of South Caldwell High School, where she hit .464 as a senior, 51 runs scored, 13 homers, 44 ribbies. Quite the prep career. 2-2. Our count full again. Taylor Long has been masterful. The freshman infielder. From the circle, the payoff pitch. Baumgartner will be walked. Way to handle a veteran arm inside of the circle from the freshman. Think about the pressure coming in, right? The situation you're in, elimination on the table, trailing 3-0, you're in the bottom of 5. Sydney, get up and get out there, get working. That's crazy. Big situation for the underclassmen.
You know, when I have people who, you think about pitchers or batters you're going to put in that position, you're looking for batters that typically have really good vision. I don't know what hers is, but that's one of the things that you're looking at. You're looking at, are they thinkers? Are they patient at the plate? And as long as they're processing all the information, then there's a good chance they're going to be all right.
Out of Wesley Chapel, Florida, Courtney Marks, the center fielder who's been making all those great grabs, pinch running over at first. That takes us to Lily Bell in the top of the batting order for the Catamounts. 0-2 in this game, 377 clip this year. Lily Bell has been able to hit everything that has come her way, producing hit after hit. She is now in her 202nd at bat on the year. 76 hits. 12.5 RBIs. Long has got our count evened up at 1.
That is the first player move that Western Carolina has made in this game.
Todd, my nerves and gut are shot from all these tournament elimination games. I don't know which way is up. What's your gut check on where we're at the bottom side of this 5th with no outs? Does this signify a significant opportunity or spot in the lineup for Western Carolina?
Yeah, it all is now. This is every pitch elimination game, right? Everything you'd want in the script is there.
Roped left field. This one bloops down. Catamounts 2 on the base path. Marks in scoring position at second. A great swing of the bat by Lily Bell, who just perfectly puts that into left field.
And this is why we've been talking about it for the last couple of innings. You think that maybe this game is out of reach? All you need is 2 on. There's nobody out, right?
Waitley under the setting sun. No outs. She represents the tying run in this ball game. A .322 average this season.
I mean, your next 3 batters have combined 35 home runs. You got 2 batters coming up that have multiple they have double-digit doubles. They've all hit triples, and they've got big RBI numbers. It's just a matter, and it's been a matter lately, of this offense just reigniting. And here's an opportunity.
Showing that slapper. Dirks is on deck. Long. The 0-2. Waitley holds off for a ball. Taylor Long in the circle. Taylor Waitley at bat. Marks in scoring position. No outs. 1-2. Chopper controlled on the collision, and this pinball's over to first in time to cut her down. As 2 advance to scoring position for Western Carolina. The shortstop right there fighting through some contact. A nice play by Zoe Wright to gather, fire to Pitts, and cut down the first to the side.
Yeah.
Look at this. Whoop. Good hurdle, actually. Shout out to Courtney Marks for getting airborne on the play, as we've got a meeting inside of the circle for Mr. Frank Reed.
I think this is Coach Reed saying, let's button it down here. This is it. I mean, he's probably really saying, this is it. Just let's play our brand of ball. Remind everybody defensively what's going to happen on the left side of the field and what should happen on the right side of the field.
I bragged on the longevity of the career of Jim Clift. 25 seasons plus with Chattanooga, almost to 3 decades. Well over 1,200 victories, almost a dozen NCAA tournament appearances, 16 total conference championships. He's led them to 10 of them. What a career for him.
Yeah. You can only hope to be that successful, right? All right, well, message received.
Just the visit to the circle tells me a lot about the gut check of the Mocs in the dugout. They must prevent scoring. Seems to be the message here with just 1 away. 2 in that scoring position. Marks at third. Dirks, a huge cut, strike 1.
Some of that conversation may have been about, I'm not as worried about is checking the runner at third as I am making sure I get the out at first. I'm sure they have poured over the numbers and they've seen what the kind of speed that maybe Dirks has.
Dirks right down the line and just along the chalk as the Cats going to turn back. That was very close.
Yeah. And Taylor Long also has to realize, you know, anything, look, what hurts more, an RBI single or a sacrifice fly, or giving up a double, a fat pitch, a cookie that ends up on the other side of the fence? Still, she has to pitch her game.
1 away. This is to the shortstop. Everybody stays put over to Pitts in time. 2 down for the Chattanooga Mocs. Dirks just couldn't outrun the gather and fire. And another job well done as Zoe Wright finds Bailey Pitts.
I mean, oh my gosh. Look at, yeah, you betcha, right? You got to go to backhand on this field and make that throw. Not to mention it's on the target. And both, I think today, I've been watching Pitts very carefully, along with Stuman at first for Western Carolina. They both do a really good job of striding out to the ball. They don't commit too early. I've seen first basemen do that, and then they can't handle the elevation, especially from that side of the field, from third or short, and they get caught in the stretch. And both those first basemen today have made some good digs.
Maya's got to ignore that crowd, block that out. As the Mocs, hometown advantage playing a little bit of a factor here. She's behind in the count, 0-2. Stay calm. 2 away. 2 in scoring position, though. Remember, you're hitting 400 this season. Just stay calm. Long, 0-2. McPherson takes ball 1. That's good work. She's got to settle down right here. This is as fat of an apple as you can pull off the tree, right?
This team didn't get this far by being reckless at the plate, and they've been in situations like this before.
1-2. McPherson rolls it through. Ball is loose. There's a run for the Catamounts. Western Carolina to the plate, tried to tag her. Not going to be able to do it. And safe out in scoring position at second. Courtney Marks, Lily Bell score the runs. The Catamounts are back within 1 on the bottom side of 5 in Chattanooga.
Boy, that is a gutsy send of Bell to the plate.
That is a gutsy send to the plate. Watch it back.
I mean, this ball's, it never gets out of the infield, and she still waves her. That ball is not on the grass.
That's insanely brave. And if that throw had been just a foot or 2 down, all of a sudden this is a very different situation. Chattanooga still can close the door right here, but good launch pad now for Western Carolina is Stuman. Next in the order with a monster 343 average. And the stat line for her this season has been wild. Homer after homer. She has got a dangerous swing. She represents a game-leading 4th run standing at home plate. Long has struck out 6 batters, including her. Count now evened up at 1 with 2 away. Stuman. Two-one. Stuman stays alive. Count even at 2 as that'll go for her 2nd strike.
Not often you see an error in the infield that allows 2 runs and a player to get all the way to second.
Stuman watches that sail by to fill up the count. Taylor Long inside of the circle has filled the count time and time again. I don't think I've seen that this year.
It's been a while.
A friend of mine that's a Hall of Famer playing collegiate baseball told me every time I go to the ballpark I learn something new. And I thought about that, and I do every single time. Stuman about to teach us something as this is down over the wall. They are out ahead. Stuman pushes the Cats out ahead by a single run in Chattanooga. A home run shot over the right field wall.
A right-handed batter, and I think her arms are fully extended. And all of this happening, after the 2-out error? Look at this.
The 16th home run of the season for Tate Stuman. Drives home the equalizing run, and of course herself, to make it 4-3. Catamounts lead in the bottom of our 5th inning with 2 away. All sparked by, you nailed it, an infield error that somehow brings Bell across the plate.
Well, Chattanooga survived a very difficult first inning when Taylor Long walked the bases loaded and then got out of the jam with a pair of strikeouts, but time and time again, when you see this many games over the course of the days that we've been here, you start to see these errors and these walks that just come back and do what people have known about this sport for a long time. They beat you. I mean, if you can't overcome them, you have to deal with the results. It's unfortunate that one error for Chattanooga can get to this point.
No one more excited than young number 24 in the stands, Drake Barlow.
And everybody there's still plenty of at-bats to be had on both sides.
2 away, Long, and the Mocs want to retire the side. The 1-1 goes foul for strike 2. On deck behind her is Tatum Martin, is Becca Wansick. 1 for 2 in this game, 342 season clip. Had that single earlier. From the circle, 1-2. That rolls through the turf.
Well, if you're Taylor Long, you've got to settle down and control the damage here. The error and the home run are no longer the problem, right?
It's gone. It's over with.
Problem is now you've got another batter at the plate that's hit 11 home runs this year.
Not anymore. Strikes her out, and that will be her 7th of the game. Taylor Long dealing some heat, but the Catamounts taking control on the bottom side of 5. Oh, Tate Stuman. See you later, baby. That thing is in the aquarium downtown. We'll be back with more Southern Conference softball action after this. Back in Chattanooga with the top of the 6th inning between Western Carolina and Chattanooga. The Mocs relinquished a 3-0 lead in the bottom of 5, just like that. Snap. Big strike to open up this side. Amanda Fulton dealing with gas to get us going. Strike 1. Mia Leone standing at bat at .277 this season. It started with a 2-run ripper across the plate. Bell advanced in shocking fashion on an infield error, and it rolled around long enough that she was able to score. And then, of course, the put away by Tate Stuman, who crushed one over the right field wall as this goes for strike 2. And she was that 4th run that gave them the 1-run advantage entering the 6th inning between the Mocs and Catamounts. An elimination game as one of these teams will pack up their bags tonight. 1-2 as she goes away swinging. Red hot start for Amanda Fulton, who picks up her 6th strikeout.
And here we are in game 8, and all of the lower seeds have been sent home so far, and this Chattanooga would be the last of the lower seeds. When you think about splitting the league in half, right? Top half, bottom half.
Chattanooga just outside of the top 4 looking in with that 5 seed.
It's where Mercer won it last year, coming out of the 5 seed spot.
And I mentioned during our open, they're seeking their 17th ever Southern Conference title in the tournament. Western Carolina is seeking their first, conversely. What a year they've had, powered by the work of Fulton inside of the circle.
And as much fun as this one's been, tomorrow starts off with a bang, right? That first game, the 10 o'clock game, is UNCG and Samford.
That is a bang. That's a firework.
Well,
that's a hand grenade.
You know, I didn't do the math yet, but so Samford scored 14 in their one and only game so far, and UNCG scored 19.
That's actually more runs than the rest of the tournament combined in the other 6 games.
And UNCG obviously played in a shortened game, right? They batted around twice in the same inning, in the 4th inning.
Were you here?
I was here.
Did you call the sheriff's department? You should have.
I just kept eating.
3-2, the full count. She's in trouble and gone. 2 away on this side for Western Carolina. They're eager to pad that 1-run advantage in the bottom side of 6. Now Chloe Lackey's over 1 in this game, a 270 season average. Amanda Fulton.
Fulton, if she handles this correctly, could end up with almost exactly what she wants, which is the bottom 2 in the order for Chattanooga before they get back to the top. Now, that being said, Zoe Wright isn't a traditional number 9 hitter. She is a left-handed hitter who is above 300.
Yeah, the shortstop has been a really nice piece for Chattanooga this season. That could get lost in the dugout, that 9 hole is not the same as other lineups.
More and more teams, especially in softball, like to slot what they would call their second leadoff hitter in that position. Get something started, and it's usually a left-handed batter. It's the same thing that Western Carolina has done. Their number 9 hitters hitting 266. But it's more about on-base percentage. Can you draw a walk, right?
Wright has 39 hits this season. As the 1-2, chopped to third to retire the side. The bounce over to first, and it is going to be a cross.
It's going to be a foul ball, I believe.
Yeah, that is just over the line. Want to get another shot back at that.
Yeah, Zoe Wright has a on-base percentage of .401. Courtney Marks, who hits in the 9 spot for Western Carolina, it's .365.
Lackey stays alive on the 1-2. Now she's in trouble. Popped up. That will retire the side for Western Carolina, who is surging. Late in this one, they lead by a run. They look to cushion it. Can Chattanooga retire the bottom side of 6 quickly? Find out next on ESPN.
Spring doesn't just bring a new season, it builds champions. From the crack of the bat to every moment under the lights, different fields, same pursuit. Greatness isn't given, it's earned. Rep by rep, play by play, second by second. And when the work meets the win, it deserves to be remembered forever. Southern recognition, setting your championship in stone.
For over 100 years, the Southern Conference has competed at the highest level, valuing college athletes on and off the field, and playing a key role in their development. The Knight Commission has recognized the SoCon as a care champion, committed to the education and well-being of our future leaders. Ideal geography, tremendous opportunity, unified values, and celebrating authenticity. In the Southern Conference, it's all here.
made this very interesting. There's the error on the infield, and Bell just comes on home, following Marks right there. Not in time, she slides through. That made it a 2-run game for the Catamounts to bring them within 1. And Steuben said, that's not enough, we want the lead. She drives home a runner in front of herself, and of course, with a shot over the wall, makes it a 1-run advantage, 4-3 over the Mocs. As we are into the very final stages of this elimination game, Western Carolina leads Chattanooga in the bottom of 6. That goes for ball 1. Tatum Martin is over 1 in this game, fouls off to even the count at 1 at 265 average this season. She was walked earlier. I'm sure Western Carolina would take that right now. Taylor Long is almost to 150 pitches. She has 7 Ks. Long, 1-2. Martin.
And she's been good against this row of 3 left-handers. Just the 2 walks. Unfortunately for her, that walk to the last batter in the 5th inning, the number 9 hitter, ended up scoring.
Again, the 1-2, this time going to even our count.
And it wasn't Marks who got on. Marks gave way to Baumgartner to pinch hit and then ran, so I guess you could say technically that the lefty scored.
Two. Over the top. Pinballs all around up in the bleachers. Look out in row G.
Look out right there, right? There's a team on top.
On deck behind Tatum Martin is Caden Lyda. Also 0 for today. She's 0 for 2, a 226 season average. Floater short and center as she'll make it safely to first on a nice stand-up single.
I enjoy watching batters just be patient. And that felt like a very patient at-bat. I'd like a side of fries with that.
Pinch runner as she'll come off. Lyda is ready to go for the Catamounts as Emma Kindle, the Tampa, Florida native. She's at a George Steinbrenner High School, posted a .310 batting average, 38 stolen bases in prep. See what she can do. Might be showing off that base stealing ability. She's already stolen 1 this season. Lyda bunts that foul, strike 1. Courtney Marks behind her in the order. She struck out twice, 2 of the 7 delivered by Taylor Long. Oh, 1. Everybody flashes around, showing off that glove and keeping her put. Leone.
Yeah, Leone, you know, she had to come in for Abby Bunt in the first game when Furman just started running at will. And ever since Leone has been in there, it just seems like they have turned the faucet off. Nobody wants to test her.
I like the try on the bunt. Chattanooga tries to scream under that. That is pitch 150 in the game for Taylor Long. Big cut, she goes down slinging. 1 away on the side for Chattanooga. Great draw on that. Real durability, still competing. Every pitch has felt competitive from Taylor Long. She's carried the staff tonight, found a way to battle through it. And you talked about the mechanics of that, right? It's not so much that the wear and tear is risk of injury, but your pitches kind of become flatter and flatter. Yeah. The effort required to deliver them becomes greater. A lot of fatigue.
Yeah. Yep. It's all there.
She's gritty. She's through it. She's been through this. Marks, 1-0. Floater just inside of the line. Here come them Catamounts. 2 on the base path, scoring position. Marks will be at first, Kindle at second.
Lucky Kendall didn't get to third maybe on that. That ball just seemed to hit and stop.
My gut, which is fried, we've talked about that. You got to close the door right away.
Yep.
You're back to the top of the batting order, and Lily Bell, 1 for 3 in this game as it's over to Long. Oh, not in time. The bases are loaded. Back to third. She's safe. Kindle is at third. Marks is at second. And Lily Bell, the leadoff, has loaded the bases with 1 away in the bottom of the 6th. Western Carolina is brimming inside of Jim Frost.
Well, I think this ball bounces. It hits and spins away. Look, it takes a turn.
That is painful for the Mocs and Taylor Long. She was right there to make the play. And the amount of pressure it would have released right from this side from the game for Chattanooga. Instead, the Catamounts are threatening to explode. Largely thanks in part to her, 24.
Talked about the flow chart before. Pretty simple. Pull the infield in, play for the out. The problem is, when you do this, it's almost impossible to pull off a 4-6-3 or a 6-4-3 double play. Now you might double somebody up if they leave early on a ball that is smashed on a line and caught.
Fired that on through for a second ball. 1 away, bases loaded. Taylor Long has delivered 8 strikeouts in this game. She got her Chattanooga Mocs out of a jam way back as we got this started. A very similar situation. Can she somehow power them through again now that she has pitched almost 160 times?
Man, 3-0. I think I green light. Only if you know it.
Wheatley waiting.
It's got to be down the middle.
Pulls off as that is strike 1.
Fair enough. This is where in working in camps, you talk to batters about shorten your swing, just look for something you can drive.
3-1. Wanted the walk, and instead our count is full with 1 away. Pitch 159 again fills the count for Taylor Long and Chattanooga. Payoff. And they have walked home a run for Western Carolina and the Catamounts as Kindle, the pinch runner, makes it a 2-run advantage for WCU in Chattanooga in the bottom of the 6th.
And that is, part of the problem of falling behind in the count, and that, again, the walk issues, the strikeout numbers are so impressive. She has struck out 8 today, but she's also unfortunately walked 6 today.
Sophia Guerra getting work in the bullpen for Chattanooga. She's from Guatemala City in Guatemala. international lefty who transferred from Portland State to the Vikings after previously spending time at CSU Bakersfield, the Roadrunners.
She's got such a different motion and speed of pitch. That's why I think she has, when she's been effective this year, it's been because of that. Boy, Taylor Long just trying to get some support from her team here.
I mean, we saw this in the top side of this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was in trouble, big jam. Everybody came out, surrounded her. She got out of the jam. You just walked home a run. It's a 2-run advantage. You got to close the door. One away, 160 pitches thrown.
There's a whole different beast here with Dirks. Understanding that you want to pitch cautiously.
"65 hits, 11 doubles, 15 homers, almost 60 RBIs. Her 190th at bat this season. Strike one evens the count at 1 with 1 away.
She was going for RBIs, 58, 59.
Yeah.
60, 61 on that swing.
Just vicious.
But I'd have her dialed in too. You can end the game here.
1-1 just sails on by for a second ball. Long from just over the state line in Ringgold, Georgia. The home team in the tournament, the Chattanooga Mocs. The hopes and dreams of their side rest on her shoulders right now. An elimination game in the Southern Conference Championship. Count even at 2 with 1 away, Dirks. Rolled through, shortstop has it going home, got her. 2 away on this side. Bases remain loaded.
A little less pressure now. At second and short, you can play back a little bit, buy yourself some time.
Huge play by Zoe Wright. It's routine.
Yep.
You know, it's not exciting, but how many times have I gone to that well, right? It's coach speak.
Right.
I believe in it. You do the routine, you make it look easy, you win. Shortstop to catcher. And Wright and Leone help out Taylor Long to keep the chance alive for the Mocs, who trail by 2 runs. Western Carolina still looking for that insurance.
Some advantage here in the fact that there's 2 outs. Runners don't have to be cautious.
Imagine getting by Sydney Dirks to have to square off with Maya McPherson.
That's why I said earlier, there's no safe port in this lineup. In this, at least in the top 6.
Count rises. Second ball of the side, 2 away, bases are loaded. Long. Two one. Closing in on her 170th pitch. Night fell long ago, darkness shrouds Jim Frost Stadium. 3-1, 2 away. And just like that, another run walked home. Western Carolina's Catamounts now have a 3-run cushion to play with. WCU walking home another. Maya McPherson at first, and Tate Stuman, who has already gone yard once. It was the first time they had led in this game. A 2-run shot over the right field wall, back at bat for the first time since. With the bases loaded. This is a look back at her home run from earlier. Just crank that, and you can see right over the wall. That thing was out of here. Not long ago, as the sun was just about to dip behind Lookout Mountain. With 2 away, she tries to end the game. 3 runs is a lot when you've only produced 3 in the game. You got to stop it right here. This is pretty much it in my mind.
Yeah, you know, you always tell your team what they did, we can just do, right? I mean, Western Carolina hasn't exactly been, you know, inflicting a lot of damage. Each team has had the big hit. You tell your team, look, they scored twice on an error. We walked in 2 runs. Now, to Western Carolina's credit, they've taken advantage of everything in this inning.
Steuben goes down swinging, so they pad their lead very well. A couple of runs walked home for Western Carolina. Taylor Long punches out her 9th of the game. Chattanooga needs 3 runs to keep it going in Tennessee. Southern Conference softball in the Scenic City made possible thanks in part to support from Coca-Cola. Made in Chattanooga by Chattanoogans since 1899. And of course, visit Chattanooga. Make your memories right here in Chattanooga. Visit Chattanooga.com. Man, I cannot wait to get an ice-cold Coca-Cola after this. Probably don't need it though. I've like got the shakes already from how tense this game has been. These two have had me nervous from the opening pitch. Speaking of pitch count, a lot of work for our all-Southern Conference pitcher, Amanda Fulton. Smack, this one's a banger off the very bottom of the wall. Rolls off the chain link and she is safe in scoring position. That is the best case scenario Chattanooga could have asked for. That was the one batter that you could have possibly said, oh, well, this could be a problem before you get back to the top of the lineup. Now you've got Zoe Wright with her .317, who is due 0 for 2 in this game. Following her, the all-freshman team member, Ava Cowart with a .350, and Seghetti with her .300, who's 1 for 3 following that. Goes foul. Gabriel Schrei, Todd Agnew, my good friend and analyst here alongside me, welcoming you back inside of Jim Frost Stadium for a nail-biter in the top of 7.
Jones went after that first pitch, and it was up in the strike zone, and so did Seghetti. I like the aggressive approach.
Floater in center field is dropped. Mox staying put. 1 at first. We're headed back to the top of the order with no outs and a runner in scoring position for Chattanooga. Look again.
I've been questioning just how good is the visibility out here. Trust me. I think it's darker than it shows right here. Just can't close the mid on it. As an outfielder, you know, that first step in, I think, cost her. Because that ball was a little bit higher on her than she wanted to be. And in a game like this, anything that falls short, you're fine. If this thing gets over your head, if you make the wrong step and this ball gets over your head, It's a different story.
Chattanooga is going to run Pikus at second in scoring position. And now what represents the equalizing run is on deck for Chattanooga. Before that, flashing it back to the top of 3, the home run ball by Bailey Pitts scored 3 runs. No response until the bottom of 5. We saw 4 runs scored. Coming through. McPherson reached on a fielding error. Courtney scored. Bell scored. She was the second one through. Then Tate Stuman homered deep right field. McPherson scored. That made it 4-3. Then a pair of walks in the bottom of 6 scored with bases loaded to make it a 3-run cushion for the Catamounts. And Western Carolina, now the surging Chattanooga Mocs at their home Jim Frost Stadium, trying to be the first team in the 2026 Southern Conference Softball Championship from the lower side of the bracket, the bottom 4 that have made it here to tournament time to advance. One team goes home tonight.
Well, Chattanooga has not had an offensive response up until maybe this moment.
Strike 2, behind in the count quickly.
Boy, and these just aren't base runners. These are base runners with speed. You would think this would be a high-pressured situation for third base coach Frank Reed. He's already made up a lot of his mind about how he's going to handle the base runners.
Ball 1, that's a look at the wily veteran who leads these Chattanooga Mocs. Coward, 58 hits. One of those came earlier in this game, and she's 1 for 3. A 347 clip on the season is our count now even at 2.
I think these pitchers are still using that outside corner as a throwaway to see if anybody will bite on it.
Amanda Fulton delivers from the circle. Chopped. It's going to pinball through. Mocs. Reed says stay put. The bases are loaded for Chattanooga with no outs at the top of 7th. And here comes what represents the game-leading run. It would be 7-6 if she were somehow able to score to bat. A look back at that one, a slapper.
Now, Coach Reed had to hold the runner because that infield is, or the outfield rather, is in considerably.
Something, 3 decades. A lot of experience there.
Yeah.
Sees that. How many coaches send him from third in that situation?
Well, he's had a few in the last couple of weeks get thrown out at home. So I think he, now he's got the runners out there he wants. And he's going to get to the batters that he wants as long as, well, he's going to get at least to Pitts.
And Todd, this is Seghetti. 300 average.
Pinch hitter, yeah.
Oh, Seghetti is staying put. This is Abby Bunt from Glencoe, Alabama. 300 average. 29 hits this season. She's also got 10 doubles on the year. But you're right, exactly right. Following her is the red hot hand of Bailey Pitts, who plays first base. She's 3 for 3 with a 380 and a 3-run shot. That is the only scoring damage we've seen done by the Mocs.
I don't have all the metrics, maybe, but I have to believe that Bunt is a fly ball hitter. Probably understands her options based on counts very well, which is typical of a catcher.
Bunt right down the line. It goes just over. Foul. The bases remain loaded as you can hear the crowd collectively hold their breath. Wind got sucked right out of here when that one was roped. Fulton the 0-2, and she stays alive. Abby Bunt
Bunt hitting .333 is a pinch hitter.
Bases loaded, 1-2.
She does fly
Bunt
it.
off of the glove at third, rolling towards second, safe, and a run scores. No outs, bases loaded. Chattanooga gets the first back, and it's a 2-run ball game in the top of the 7th for the Blocks.
I was going to say she does have a tendency, looking at the numbers, to fly balls out. Oh, McPherson. That ball gets on her so quickly.
And Todd, it is DEFCON 9 in Chattanooga, Tennessee for Western Carolina. Bailey Pitts ready to go, standing by. Pitts, prior to that, had scored the only runs of the day with a homer over the left field wall. She is a perfect 3 for 3.
Yeah, right. 2 doubles, a home run.
$11 doubles this season, 8 home runs, 57 hits, seeking 58. Pitts fouls off. The count evened at 1. No outs in the top of 7 for Western Carolina, who is looking to close the side. And if they could do that quickly, they're out of here. They move on. No need to play the bottom of 7 if you're leading.
I said we haven't had an extra inning game yet in this tournament.
Fulton 2-1. Pitch slams that. Rolling down foul.
Coach Reed examining the base pass. Unfortunately here you don't have chalk that kicks up and leaves a mark.
What an OG. Yeah. Where's the chalk at?
Yeah.
Counts even at 2.
Off speed.
Good delivery by Fulton. Pitts. Nice work staying alive.
She'd been hot and coming around. Had to change some speeds there.
Somehow Taylor Long kept Chattanooga alive, keeping it close, and now the spark plug on this side of the 7th, 2-2. Pitts lets it go. The count is full. The power hitter is 3 for 3. Do you consider just walking her? Is that even an option? Do you? I mean,
no,
is that crazy?
They're not going to give her anything. They're going to make her earn it.
I think I'm crazy. I'd be like, yeah, actually, I don't know about that. And the payoff pitch, roped across. They do it. They score another. Chattanooga makes it a 1-run game. Bailey Pitts 4 for 4. No outs.
Well, some indecision about the play. And I'm not sure that it's not a smart play here. Look, this ball is ricocheted to the shortstop. Here's my thought process. If I just hold everybody, if I throw away a ball at first, maybe they score 2. If I throw the ball at first, maybe they score 2. That's probably a pretty good decision by Lyda.
I like that. Western Carolina can still close the door. And this should be the first out of the side, controlled easily. 1 away for WCU and the Catamounts. Bases loaded in the top of 7. Dovey, who was a hero earlier in the tournament, flies out and is replaced by Mia Leone, who's 0 for 3 and certainly due with a .275 average. On deck, Jade Gaynor with a .255. She's 0 for 3.
an error, 2 infield hits, a double, a solid single into center. And I'll say this for Fulton, she's done her job. A lot of this hasn't been really hard contact. It's just been difficult to handle by the infield.
Fulton with one away has evened our count at 1 as she'll deliver from the circle. Crunches that in right field. 2 away on the side, tagging up to equalize us as she slides over home plate. The Birds 2 in scoring position, but crucially, it is 6 runs apiece in Chattanooga as they bring her on home. Ava Cowart, the reigning SoCon all-freshman team member, gets it done for Chattanooga.
Pretty soft lift.
Fulton, a quick conversation. And a pinch hitter coming for Chattanooga. G. Gaynor has headed back to the dugout. With 2 away, deadlocked. I agree with Frank Reed here. You got to find a way to create some more production. The Athens, Tennessee native, also local, Lexi Cooley coming on to go to bat. 7 hits this season, 1 double, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, 46 at bats for the Mocs. Does it feel to you like Western Carolina is absolutely going to come out and produce in the bottom side of 7?
No, it's hard to get a gauge on a lot of this stuff, it seems like. So much of this, I believe, has been unexpected.
I blame the rain on day 1. Kind of changed everything.
They might be reviewing to see if that last run left early.
I think that's exactly what they're doing.
And it doesn't hurt to try.
Our production crew.
Well, let me tell you this. I was in the replay booth earlier today on a play that I walked out there thinking, well, I got the call right. And it was overturned. I thought, okay, well.
Isn't that the best?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. I actually have no idea what's going on.
Yes.
Speaking of which, 2 in scoring position at the moment with 2 away. After review, here's our officials.
Taking their time on this one, as they should. Just want to maybe get another look at it here. Don't have a great look. We actually do have a fairly good look. Look fine.
Screen to me as they do make the call. That stands for Chattanooga. Yeah, that's a good clean look. It's not 10. It's not 10 out of 10. You wouldn't have framed it up that way for a review, but
it's kind of how my diploma looks. It looks like it's real, like it's right on the wall.
That's a crazy joke at the top of the 7th. It's 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Todd's coming through with heat right now in inning 7. 2 away. Lexi Cooley. This will be pitch 120 for Amanda Fulton. Cooley. Count even up at 1. Sack fly scored Cowart a moment ago. Seghetti is at 3rd. Bailey Pitts at 2nd in scoring position. Cooley down in the count. One, 2.
Now, as I said earlier, the best plate appearances come from those batters that have a plan. And that's why it's so important to tell and remind your hitters, look, I might use you next inning, have a plan.
Cooley. Up into row D. Everybody okay?
And they're timing those pitchers, trying to, they're in the dugout and you can't see them, but they're trying to time the rhythm so they understand all of that.
Count is full for Lexi Cooley. Fulton looks to retire the side with 2 away. Deadlocked, 6 runs apiece in the top of 7. Pitch 1, 2, 3. Fouled off. She stays alive.
Again, another count where keep your head down, try to create some tunnel vision, and drive the ball.
Walked.
We'll take the walk.
2 away, bases loaded. 6 runs apiece. Chloe Lackey, say hello. .268 season average. 0 for 2 today against Western Carolina. Lackey! The Mocs gonna take the lead, and Pitt stays put at 3. The bases remain loaded with 2 away. Chattanooga leads on their home turf in the Scenic City, 7-6 over the 3 seed.
No, I did not think Chattanooga would bat around, and that is really one of the cleaner smacks in this inning.
Chloe Lackey smokes that thing right through. A little dropper that rolls into left field, takes a moment to collect. Fulton now looking to retire this side again as Pikus replaced by Raven Jones, who's 2 for 3. Strike 1 for Jones that cut right through the corner.
Not sure what they're asking for here unless there was a...
Yeah, Frank Reed coming down to talk to home plate umpire. Keep it going is the signal from the man at home plate.
Did he forget to re-enter?
Allegedly. Count even at 1, 2 away. That's got to be it, because nobody else noticed it. I called that out, that Pikus was back away. In the stats, it says Pikus at bat, but it's not. It's Raven Jones, number 4. Count even at 1 as Jones choppers off, strike 2. That's all right. I don't remember how to do anything.
No, it's just curious if that's what happened. I think as long as you don't swing at the pitch, we'll unpack. You know what? I'm gonna know that tonight about 10:05.
Jones stays alive. Strike 2, 2 away, bases loaded. Any additional production just absolutely massive for the Mocs in this situation. The hometown University of Tennessee at Chattanooga Mocs leading the 3 seed Western Carolina Catamounts by 1 run in the top of 7. We'll know before that. Are you texting someone?
Yes.
That's good. Dude, use your phone.
Yeah.
You got a phone.
Yeah. I'm texting
Shot
Coach
right
Reed.
over the top. Got her. That retires the side for Western Carolina. The Catamounts finally eliminate the scoring threat. We'll be back. Western Carolina trailing by just a run in the bottom of 7. One run separates the Chattanooga Mocs and the Catamounts of Western Carolina. The 5 seed looking to be the first to advance at a position in the bracket so far. The 1 seed moves on. The 2 seed moves on. The 4 seed moves on. Could Chattanooga knock the 3 seed out of place? Catamounts think not, and it starts right here with Becca Wansick. Taylor Long has delivered 175 pitches. Gabriel Schrei, Todd Agnew in the bottom of 7 in a 1-run game. Todd has used his phone-a-friend for our telecast.
Yeah.
Who did you call? Can
I don't.
It's a secret.
Well.
Did you call the dugout?
I did. Well, I called Coach Reed.
No, you didn't.
I said, hey.
Did you really?
Question. No. So this is what I think might have happened. This is not what happened. This is what I think happened. You can step into the box, and as long as you catch it first, you're okay. If the umpire catches it first, if the opposing coach catches it first, then I think you are out on not re-entering a player.
Definitely out, and I think there can be additional consequences. I'm not sure.
Well, that's so. Again, it's why I love broadcasting these games so much, because there's just so much of the possibilities that exist.
Cranked foul. Look out.
Yeah, I just had to get some clarification on whether or not, if it mattered when the player was in the box.
Yeah, that's an unreported substitute.
Yeah. And at the end of the night, I'll go down there and I'll ask, and they'll say, no, we were talking about, did you set the timer to record, the next episode?
The first out of the side as Chattanooga is surging over 180 pitches. Well, that's not enough. She's got to get another K. Unbelievable. Wansick goes down swinging. Taylor Long will now face Tatum Martin with 10 strikeouts in her back pocket. It's a 1-run game as that's strike 1. Yeah, the unreported substitute or re-entry, just administrative. A lot of times it's just corrected. Stop play, correct the lineup, enforce the rule. If it's illegal, obviously that's a big deal, and they can.
Yeah. I mean, well, you know, just something to have fun with. In case you're having trouble sleeping tonight. By the way, Western Carolina, with every single bat they have in this lineup, it's easy to get back into this one. And I was wondering, to get back on track here, how they would handle Taylor Long here.
1-1. Strike 2 for Tatum Martin as a team batting 240, Todd.
Yeah, and it's so important for Taylor to get ahead in the count here, because I felt like that's where she struggled in the sixth. She just fell behind in the count, would battle back, and then couldn't spot the pitch for the strike, because obviously you're being careful, especially with the bases loaded. Think of Western Carolina tonight has stranded 8. And they stranded 3 in the first inning and 3 in the 6th inning, all right? So bases loaded in those 2 innings.
Count even at 2 with 1 away. Rope to third, trapped, gloved over to first, pitch, got her. 2 away for the Chattanooga Mocs, who are 1 out away from the biggest upset of our tournament so far. The Carolina Catamounts on the ropes. Can the purple side stave off elimination?
Well, it hasn't been easy, but yes, certainly they have the capability.
The diesel engine rumbling by in Chattanooga. A pinch hitter. Bursey. Ball 1. Amari Bursey from Lula, Georgia, named the all-freshman team, a product of East Hall High School. 384 career average there, 261 ERA in the circle. Batted .500 as a junior, .415 as a senior.
Welcome to the tournament.
1-0. Amari lets that go on by for a second ball. Taylor Long can taste it.
Oh my gosh, what a packed position to put this batter in. As I said earlier, you want to have somebody up there that is patient.
2 away, 2-1. Bursey. Count is even at 2. Taylor Long, 190 pitches. What a warrior. Two. Bursey holds off. The count is again full. Time and time again, she has filled this count. 10 Ks. And it comes down to the bat of a freshman. 2 away, full count. Taylor Long, the payoff pitch. Bursey goes down swinging. The Mocs upset the 3 seed in advance. Chattanooga advances in the Southern Conference Softball Championship. What an upset by Chattanooga as Taylor Long deals heat, her 11th strikeout.
That ball moved up. I'm sure it looked good all the way. And she found a way tonight. I talked about finding a sequence. When it wasn't working early, she began to move the ball around. All right, I can get it here, I can get it there, I can get it here, I can get it there. And you know what? So did Fulton. I mean, they both figured out what I thought was a difficult strike zone to figure out. They kept their teams in it, and I didn't anticipate this back and forth.
Unbelievable back and forth as we roll you for a quick look at the Visit Chattanooga SoCon bracket. Make your memories here in Chattanooga. Todd, that's where we stand.
Yeah, Chattanooga is going to take on Wofford tomorrow, and that Sanford UNCG game is also going to be electrifying. And it's nice to close out this second night on something like this. I know it's unfortunate for Western Carolina that I thought was just such a strong team. Finally woke up offensively. It just wasn't enough.
Fantastic back and forth battle. Really just a lot of fun here tonight with the entire crew. Appreciate you being with me, my good friend and analyst Todd Agnew. A good one as always, and looking forward to the rest of the tournament. Catamounts fall to the Mocs in the upset so far, the Southern Conference Softball Championship. All games and events airing on our network from broadcast live and our copyright material. Today's game will be archived and available for replay inside of the Apple platform where you viewed it. The final score is 7-6. Chattanooga takes down Western Carolina. For the Mocs, for the Catamounts, our whole crew and Todd Agnew, all the fans, I'm Gabriel Sly saying so long and good night from Chattanooga,